the generation that destroys the environment is not the generation that pays the price. That is the problem. These are not my words, but these are the words of Professor Wangari Maathai, who continuously reminded not just Kenyans, but all global citizens that it's important to conserve the environment. And she further said that if we destroy the environment, one day the environment will destroy us. And I think everyone today that is keen and careful about the environment can tell that it is not business as usual. We have erratic rains that fall at a time when people are expecting to see sunshine. We have cold weathers that are lasting forever, and everybody keeps wondering when this cold is going to end. And I believe this is a message to all of us that we ought to take care of the environment so that in future and generations to come do not blame us for not taking care of the environment.
Hi, this is Anne, and I am talking from Kongoloni village. And as you know, conservation of the environment is definitely very important. Anytime you cut a tree, you have no idea how many lives you're affecting, not just for humanity, but also for the animals and generally the ecosystem that depends on that tree. And so in this video, I'll be talking to an expert that, is an agricultural expert that will tell us about the importance of not cutting trees and how it is still possible to cut trees but not destroy the tree entirely, and the same tree can still stay alive and serve many more purposes. And as you listen and watch this video, work towards making your environment a better place. And joining us is Priska Kaloki, who is an agriculture instructor in one of the schools in Kitui County. And I want to welcome her to this interview. Welcome, Priska.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you and welcome to my home. I am in Kongoloni.
Yeah.
And this is in Kitui County,
yeah,
Kenya.
Wow.
And God is good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of trees here, and clearly this has changed your homestead. And one cannot tell they're in Kitui County unless they come here physically or they drive to this place. So what motivated you to plant all these trees together with your husband?
We decided to plant trees because this place is very dry and we needed to create a microclimate around here that would bring a different kind of environment.
Microclimate, please break it down. Not everybody understands that.
Microclimate is a climate within a climate.
Wow.
There is this dry climate, and then we are creating a climate that would attract that cool breeze, because this place is very hot.
Yeah.
And also, so that would also have trees that would assist us in some of the chaos in the house.
In the place.
Yeah.
Actually, you've mentioned something that's really interesting to me, because I'm also very much interested in planting trees. So it is possible for someone to be in a desert and actually create an oasis for themselves.
Oh, correct. You are very right. You create a microclimate, or you change the climate that is within that place by planting trees, and then you find that the place is cool. We started by planting the seedlings, tree seedlings, quite a number of them. Some were successful, some were not successful, but we also did we replanted the trees again.
Okay.
We have been irrigating them so that they would grow to the size that you can see around here.
All right.
These trees have taken about 10 years.
Yeah.
And they are doing well.
Wow, great. So what I would like to know is, in a place where water is scarce, how do you manage to, water these trees?
Yeah, here water is scarce, but we have a well. We dug a well immediately when we settled in this place, and after digging the well, we have been using the water from the well to water these trees.
Okay.
And then once it rains, then the trees would pick up very fast and continue growing.
So how can one benefit from the trees without completely cutting a tree from the roots?
There are several ways of harvesting these trees. One of the ways of harvesting, actually we may call it harvesting or pruning the trees.
Yeah.
One of the ways that we do it, especially in the arsals, in these dry areas, is called lopping.
Okay.
Lopping is the most common way of harvesting trees, whereby you cut the branches haphazardly, especially when we are towards the rainy season. You go cutting the branches also to encourage the upward growth because of apical dominance. When you cut off the tree at the tip, you destroy the apical dominance. The tree does not grow upwards. But when you cut the sides, the branches, then you allow the tree to continue growing upwards, so that eventually you would use them for timber.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So what would you encourage people? Because most people, you go to their farms and you find not a single tree planted in the last 3 years, and yet they live there, and probably some even have acres of land.
Yeah, I would encourage people to plant trees all over, different types of trees. Of late, we are encouraging agroforestry,
Yeah.
whereby you are growing trees as well as growing your crops.
All right.
The trees that are planted for agroforestry should be done at a wider spacing, so that they don't interfere with the crop that is growing. It is very, very possible, because people feel like they would bring shade that would interfere with the crops.
Okay.
We normally plant trees following east-west. East-west. Is it east-west? Yeah, east-west. We follow east-west orientation.
Regardless of where you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do east-west so that this tree will never shade your crops.
Okay.
The shade will fall along that line of the trees.
Not along the side of the plants.
No.
Okay.
You do east-west orientation. Now these trees will never shade our crops.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way we can do it when we are doing agroforestry. And then we plant different types of trees.
Yeah.
It's good to have a variety of them.
Yeah.
Trees are very good for soil and water conservation because they are going to hold our soils.
Yeah.
The roots are going to hold the soils. The leaves, the foliages, they fall down on the crops. They are going to help in bringing manure that is going to enrich our soils. But we choose the trees to plant.
All right.
You don't plant any tree. Eucalyptus is not good for your shamba.
All right.
But all other trees are good. And especially the trees that are leguminous.
Okay. Okay.
They are good.
So that means someone should look for an expert to advise them, because some of the terms you're mentioning, I'm sure that probably most people watching have no clue. So if you want to plant, you need to get an expert to advise you on what trees to.
Yes. We have Kefri here in Kitui. You can visit them. They would advise you on the trees that you can plant in your shamba.
All right.
And especially if you are planting where crops are growing.
Yeah.
There are also trees that are good for the border.
Okay.
And you can use them for the boundaries.
Yeah.
And such.
Awesome.
Yes.
So as we conclude, what is your overall view on tree planting and climate change, or cutting of trees and climate change? Because the reverse is true. If tree planting affects, then tree cutting also affects. So in terms of climate change, how it affects the weather, the climate?
Now, when you cut all the trees, you encourage drought in the area. And when I talked about microclimate, see, when you have trees and you see these trees are releasing water, they are releasing water to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
As well as releasing carbon, taking in carbon dioxide. They're taking in carbon dioxide for photosynthesis, releasing oxygen to the environment.
Yeah.
This cleanses the environment. You enjoy fresh air when you are seated under the trees and when you are somewhere where there are many trees.
Yeah.
The opposite is true. When you cut down all the trees, this place will be very dry.
Very dry.
You will not have any rains, and the area is just uncomfortable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the information you've given us. I believe whoever is watching, even if you have a 50 by 100, you can plant 1 or 2 trees. If you have an acre, you can decide to leave a small space and plant a tree or plant trees, and it will make a big difference. The issue of climate change is real in this world. It is real in this country, Kenya, and it is real even in this village. For example, this village is called Kongoloni, and a lot of trees have been cut lately. And many times when a tree is cut, another one is not planted in its place. For example, this tree was cut 3 weeks ago, and even though it took just a few minutes to cut it, it took years for the tree to grow. And so I'm here to encourage people and tell them you don't have to cut a tree. There are other options when it comes to fuel, when it comes to a source of, a fuel for cooking, or, other things like options for roofing your house. There are many other things you can use and not necessarily cutting down a tree.
Naitwa Nicholas Mbuvi. Mi napendanga sana kupanda miti. Hiyo miaka iliyopita nimekuwa nikipanda miti mingi na faulu. Lakini huu mwaka nimekuwa na challenge mingi. Nilipanda lakini mingi inaendelea kukauka kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa maji. Kuna mvua, tunachimba kisima. After 2 months, after 1 month hivi inakauka. Sasa naendelea kung'ang'ana nayo, mahali nitaitolea maji imekuwa shida kubwa sana.
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Patrick Musyoka kutoka hapa Kitui, kaunti ya Kitui. Wakati huu ni wakati ambao kwa kweli nasema umekuwa wakati mzuri, sababu kawaida yangu mimi nimekuwa mtu wa kupanda miti, ukulima imekuwa sehemu yangu. Kwa hiyo huu wakati unapata kuwa japo kumekauka kidogo, upande wa kwangu nimejikaza nikapanda miti kadhaa, na at least ninatumia, niko na kisima nimechimba, so unapata ile maji natoa kwa kisima, na imenisaidia sana sababu ile miti niko nayo sasa itanisaidia baadaye ikishakuwa miti mikubwa, naweza tumia ile miti, naweza jenga nayo paa la nyumba. Kama una pesa pia unaweza uza. Kwa hivyo huu mwaka nimejikaza tu, lakini ukame kidogo umekauka, lakini yote kumi sio mbaya, nashukuru Mungu.
God bless you all. I do hope that you can plant a tree or several trees in commemoration of the 2022 elections. God bless you all. God bless Kenya. Thank you.